Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Semajical Reviews. This is our 31st episode now, and as I said at the end of the previous episode, it's a book review. So book time has arrived, and I'm going to be reviewing the first of the TimeRiders novels by Alex Scarrow. Now, what this is about three people from three different periods of time who narrowly escaped death by the hands of the Titanic, an aeroplane crash, and a fire in three different time periods. So we have Liam O'Connor should have died at sea in 1912. Maddie Carter should have died on a plane in 2010. And Sal Vikram should have died in a fire in 2026. Yet moments before death, someone mysteriously appeared and said, "Take my hand," but Liam, Maddie and Sal aren't rescued. They are recruited by an agency that no one knows exists, with only one purpose: to fix broken history. Because time travel is here, and there are those who would go back in time to change the past. That's why the TimeRiders protect us. So basically it's about three people recruited by an agency that fixes time. And there are people that will go back in time to change it, which is where these guys come in, the TimeRiders. Basically, in this first novel, Liam and a support unit named Bob are sent back in time through World War II to try and stop our main villains, who have also travelled back, from helping the Nazis win the war. And, well, shock horror, we do see a changed world in which that has happened. So it's up to them to change everything back to normal. As a matter of fact, inside each book we have a diagram showing history as we know it, and Kramer's the name of the guy that goes back to change everything, and then history altered by Kramer. So history as we know it, obviously in 1941, Hitler prepares to invade Russia, and 1945, Nazi Germany loses the war, and Hitler kills himself. But as history edited, or not edited, as changed, altered by Hitler, in 1941, Kramer convinces Hitler not to invade Russia. 1945, Nazi Germany wins the Second World War. 1956, Kramer's stormtroopers conquer the US, and if Kramer had not gone insane, then history as we know it, in 2001, New York as we know it, busy, noisy and colourful, then as changed by Kramer, if not gone insane, New York, Germanic and ordered city under control of Kramer's Greater Reich. And as Kramer goes insane and unleashes Doomsday Weapon, New York apocalyptic ruins populated by starving mutants, which is the version of New York we actually do get a look into in the book. Now, I would read you an excerpt, but I can't. So you'll have to pick up a copy for yourselves in order to know if you're going to like it or not. For me, it's one of my favourite books I've ever read. And I give it 5 TimeRiders out of 5. Okay guys, that's it for this review. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. There will be another episode soon. But until then, thanks for watching and have us a magical time. Hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews. Now, as I'm sure you would have noticed by now, we have a new theme song. That was the first time using it, but now let's get on to the subject of today's review. One Tree Hill Season 1. Yeah, there you go. The first season of One Tree Hill is being reviewed. Well, this season was, well, first of all, the show itself was created by Mark Schwann, and the name was inspired by the song of the same name by U2, which can be found on the album The Joshua Tree from 1987. And the show itself tells of a group of 5 teenagers in the fictional town of Tree Hill, navigating their way through the first half of their junior year of high school through 22 episodes, originally airing between 2003 and 2004. And these 5 teenagers are Nathan Scott, played by James Lafferty, who starts the series out as an entitled you-know-what. Basically, he starts out as a twat. Yep, there, right? I said it. And who wants nothing more than to make the life of our next character, Lucas Scott, played by Chad Michael Murray, his half-brother, a misery. Now, Lucas is the opposite of Nathan. He's nice and easygoing and has a hard life because he was abandoned before he was born. We'll tell you about their father later on. Brooke Davis, played by Sophia Bush, is the captain of the Tree Hill cheerleading squad. and she is mostly easygoing, but she's tough on her cheerleaders. And her best friend, Peyton Sawyer, played by Hilary Burton, is kind of a double-edged sword. She's living with her adopted dad, who we will meet later on, or who I'll tell you about later on. And she is very well loved and protected, and she's one of Lucas's love interests. His main love interest, actually. Brooke's the other one. I should have mentioned that. Our fifth main character is Haley James, who later becomes Haley James Scott. Played by Bethany Joy Lenz, or Gagliotti if you prefer. She was Bethany Joy Lenz for the first 2 seasons. This is Lucas's best friend, and well, she starts a relationship with Nathan during the season, after she starts tutoring him. She knows about how much trouble he can be, but she actually makes him a better person. Go figure. Now, so those are our main characters. Other characters we meet, who are also teenagers in this season, are Jimmy Edwards, who is the best friend of Lucas. I can't tell you who plays him because I can't remember the actor's name. But the other best friends are Marvin Mouth McFadden, played by Lee Norris, who's the commentator of the basketball games, and Antoine Skills Taylor, played by Antoine Tanner. And he's just as easygoing as all the other guys in Lucas's posse. Now, the adult characters that we would consider main are... Here we go. Dan Scott, played by Paul Johannesson, who's Lucas and Nathan's father, who abandoned Lucas before he was born, and actually doesn't like the fact Lucas exists, and has indoctrinated Nathan into this way of thinking in the early part of the season, at least. What kind of father does that? And he also pushes Nathan to play basketball. Again, what kind of father does that? Okay. Deb Scott, played by Barbara Allen Wood, is the wife of Dan and the mother of Nathan. And, well, you thought Lucas's daddy issues with Dan were bad enough. She's the cause of Nathan's mummy issues. She's never there for him, usually, when he needs her. She's always off doing other stuff. So, abandonment issues he has with her. So he should be sympathetic to Lucas's plight. Shame he isn't. Okay. Then we have Dan's brother Keith Scott, played by Craig Sheffer, who runs an auto shop and is constantly at loggerheads with Dan and has a thing for Deb. Okay. And then we have Karen Rowe, Lucas's mum, played by Moira Kelly. And well, She's a long-suffering single mum who suffers from the same abandonment issues as her son does, but through her then boyfriend abandoning her while she was pregnant. Our final main character is Coach Brian Whitey Durham, played by Barry Corbin, and he's the basketball coach at Tree Hill High. So these are our main players. We do meet other characters during the season, such as Tim Smith, who's Nathan's best friend, and Jake Jodelsky, another player on the basketball team who's actually a teenage parent. Yes, I said it. Because also we meet Nikki, Jake's ex-girlfriend, and Jake's daughter, Jenny, who's only an infant in this season, like a baby. Now, okay, so the storylines you'll be finding yourself with in this season are basically Lucas's daddy issues with Dan, Deb and Dan's long-suffering marriage, Nathan and Haley's budding relationship, which also then starts a friendship and a brotherly bond between Lucas and Nathan. About time, right? And Lucas actually realizing his dad is nothing but a worthless piece of shit. About time as well. Okay. Now, at the end of the season, Nathan and Haley actually tie the knot. We also meet Jimmy and Lydia James, who are Haley's parents. Although, that's not in this season, that's next season. Sorry. Now, there are 22 episodes to tell you the synopsis of and review. That's too many to go through in one video. So, I'll just actually point out some of my favourites, if I can remember their titles, which I don't think I can. So, I've just gone over the main storylines of the season, and the fact that the gang are in their junior year of high school, and this is the first half of it. So what do I think of One Tree Hill's first season? Absolutely brilliant. Not flawless by any means, but still absolutely brilliant. And it's worth a watch, and if this episode spurs you to try the series out, I recommend it. I really do. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe, because that's it for this review. Until the next review, which will be a review of the first Power Rangers episode ever, Day of the Dumpster. thanks for watching, and have a Semajical time. Hey, fellow hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews, the show for reviewing anything from films right through to toys. And now we're getting back into the world of Power Rangers in this episode. This time we're going back to the beginning, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, with the first episode to ever be aired, Day of the Dumpster. Now, for those who are unaware of what the show is and what this episode is, go and watch it and then come and watch this review. Because the plot of this episode is very straightforward. 10,000 years ago, our villain, Rita Repulsa, an evil space witch, was cast out into space in a dumpster, and now after 10,000 years her dumpster is found on the moon and she's set free. Along with her are her team of bad guy henches, including Goldar, the giant golden flying monkey, a la the Wizard of Oz, Finster, her scientist who makes all her monsters, and Swat and Babu, who are her comic relief idiots. Meanwhile, though, down on Earth, Zordon at the command center instructs Alpha 5, the robot. Zordon, by the way, is a head in a tube, also a la the Wizard of Oz. Alpha 5 is his robot assistant. He is instructed by Zordon to recruit 5 teenagers with attitude. Enter our 5 main superheroes: Jason Scott Lee, played by Austin St. John, who becomes the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger and pilot of the Tyrannosaurus sword. Trini, the Yellow Ranger, played by Tui Trang. She becomes the pilot of the Saber-toothed Tiger Zord. Kimberly Hart, played by Amy Jo Johnson, becomes the Pink Mighty Morphin Ranger. Now, she is Trini's best friend, and she becomes not only the Pink Ranger, but also pilot of the Pterodactyl Zord. And then we also have Billy, who's played by David Yost. He becomes the Blue Mighty Morphin Ranger. And pilot of the Triceratops Zord. And then we have Zack, our Black Ranger for the Mighty Morphin team in the early days, played by Walter Jones. Now the thing, and he becomes the pilot of the Mastodon Sword. Now they gain their powers through these little coins, known as power coins. And they have morphers that they use to morph into their superhero forms. Their suits are just multicolored spandex with motorcycle helmets, and they use a morphing coil to morph. The powers are also charged by the power grid. And every episode they're sent out to fight the Putty Patrol, who are Rita Skeeter's monsters, and other monsters also sent to fight them by Rita. And it's just fun to see them always failing. And how do the Rangers end up defeating the bad guys? Well, they merge all their Zords together into one Megazord. Now, I should just point out that for the first season and a bit, the Yellow Ranger is played by an Asian girl, and the Black Ranger is played by a black man. This would never be allowed today due to this whole political correctness rubbish, but there's a bit of stereotype in there. Okay, so accidental, I'm sure, but yeah, you know. But that doesn't take away the fact that this is a great first episode, an introduction to the series. And the theme song, Go Go Power Rangers, a nice little 40-second jingle. So what are your opinions on this episode of Power Rangers? Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments below. There will be another episode soon. If you enjoyed this one though, however, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, thanks for watching and have a Semajical time! Hey guys, and welcome back to Semajical Reviews. This is now our 34th episode. But what am I reviewing this time round? If I said the words to you, a Barbie movie, would you believe me? No, I didn't think you would. Well, it is going to be a Barbie movie this time round. So, and it is, of course, Barbie as Rapunzel. Has James lost his mind? No, I haven't. Just don't even think about asking me that in the comments, okay? Because what this is the Barbie take on the story of Rapunzel, and it is a very different take on that story. Now, I am very sure that you all know what the story of Rapunzel is. It's a story by the Brothers Grimm about a princess who is taken from her parents at birth and raised in a tower, where she then becomes imprisoned. And her hair grows out super long, and she is eventually freed by a handsome prince. Well, in this take of the story, it still follows those story beats, but adds some new spins to it. She's friends with a young dragon and a talking rabbit, and she has a magic paintbrush that creates portals into the outside world. When she actually ventures off into the outside world and meets a young man who she doesn't know yet is the prince, Mother Gothel learns of this, and because she was clever enough not to ask the man his name, she's actually being honest when she says she doesn't know. So Mother Gothel imprisons her in the tower after calling her a liar. The only thing is, she told the truth the whole time so she can get out of the prison. It was Mother Gothel who lied to her her whole life. Obviously, that's how the story goes. She learns that Mother Gothel lied to her about her parents abandoning her as a baby. It was actually Mother Gothel who kidnapped her as a baby. And then this led to a war between the king and his brother. And in this version, spoilers now, we learn that Rapunzel and the prince are cousins, which then makes it all the more disturbing when they tie the knot. Okay, this is a children's film first and foremost, and it is their take on that classic tale. Now, before you go asking, but James, why are you watching a Barbie movie? Barbies are for girls. Well, okay, I'll give you that, but I happen to like those girls' toys. And I happened also to like this film. So, if you didn't pay any attention to episode 26 when I reviewed this beautiful young lady here, and her playset that she came with, well, it's your own damn fault. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Next time, I'll be reviewing the classic series of a certain YouTube series, the classic run of a certain YouTube series that does, of a person on YouTube that reviews video games and sort of rants about them. Goes by the name of James Caddick and lives in London, England. Caddicarus. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing next time. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a Semajical time. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Semajical Reviews. The show where I come on and review, it could be anything from a TV episode to a book or a toy, but most commonly movies. But we're going once before or twice before YouTube videos. And I'm going back to the world of YouTube videos for this two-part review. No, I'm not reviewing one of Darren's projects again. I'm taking a break from that. But what I am reviewing is another YouTuber from Great Britain who comes on to determine whether a game should be slaughtered or salvaged. He offers his greetings and salutations to his beautiful people at the start of his reviews, and at the end he wishes them a happy freaking birthday if it's their birthday while watching the video, and advises them to remember to stay beautiful. Of course, I'm talking about James Caddick, otherwise known as Caddicarus. Yeah, and in part one of this reviews, I'm going to talk about the classic era of Caddicarus, which actually occurred between 2012 and 2019. And this particular show ran for 13 seasons and 199 episodes, so very nearly 200. And in each episode, he'd come on to review mainly a PS1 game, but occasionally he would jump over to another console, say the PS2, and occasionally more, he would review an old VHS tape or some TV episodes. And in his very first episode, he decided to tackle the PS1 game Rascal Racers. And just, really made fun of the way the game was designed. And yes, his username is a play on Caddicarus. Now, I need to actually point out here that in a couple of his episodes in this series, he has actually looked back at the very first episode of the series and cringed at it, as well as taking us behind the scenes. Well, not behind the scenes, but you know what I mean, as well as... Actually, I think I'll save that for the next episode, but... in Season 8, he reviewed... a classic nursery rhymes video, or DVD. The classic nursery rhyme collection. Which I then went online and bought myself a copy of. So, after seeing the episode. Okay, let's not sidetrack on that at the moment. In season 10, he returned to the nursery rhyme reviews with classic nursery rhymes. A Darren Day VHS from back in the day, which was then made to a DVD, where it was just a bunch of still images with Darren Day droning through all the nursery rhymes that it presented. Now, he has reviewed a handful of video games by a company called Phoenix Games, which I suppose you could say is the British LJN. And these game reviews started with Dalmatians 3 and ended with an animal soccer game. He's also reviewed some movies over his time in the classic series, such as Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, and who can forget the gem that is Casper, A Spirited Beginning. Now, each and every one of his reviews is a load of fun to watch. I'm being serious here, not sarcastic. And if you're a fan of satirical game reviews, even though you might not be a gamer yourself, like me, then this show will be right up your alley. How was I introduced to it? Well, the same way I was introduced to the likes of the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Irate Gamer. My friend Pyramid Head 45 introduced me to this show, and I've been a fan ever since. So, I guess there's only one thing left to say for this review. Classic Caddicarus reviews. In the eyes of me, get the salvage. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Stay tuned next time for part 2, where we go into the reboot. And I forgot to mention, he's also done some specials where he looks over the best and worst video games of the year of the Cadvent and Badvent calendars, and he's also covered an entire series and dedicated to reviewing every Kingdom Hearts game. I should have mentioned that. So yes, in part 2 it is the reboot series of 2020 to 2023 we'll be going over. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. And as he would say, if it's your birthday today whilst watching this video, then happy freaking birthday to you, and please remember to stay beautiful and have us a magical time. Thanks for watching. Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to part 2 of Semajical Reviews, Caddicarus review. And in this part, we're going to review modern Caddicarus, aka Caddy 2020, the reboot series, which started at the start of 2020 with him ranting about how expensive PS downloads are, as he spent $115 on said downloads. And then over the course of the series, he'd go over into the worlds of skateboarding games. Spyro Games was his million subscriber special. Yeah, I'm not kidding. The disappointing world, I think it was, at DreamWorks Games. And basically, every single one of his episodes here was a retrospective on a certain collection of games. And it's a very insightful retrospective as we see him playing through these games and going over what he likes and doesn't like about them. And he's even covered a retrospective of the PlayStation magazines in these as well. Each episode here is up to an hour and a half long, and I think even one tips the 2 hour mark. And they're, believe it or not, just as fun to watch as the old episodes. So, the secret formula of Caddicarus here is to just stick to what he knows and make it even better. Now, during this series, what I was about to tell you about in part 1 happens during this series. Which was, if I remember rightly, and I don't, so I should have just said it there. So we'll just move on. Okay. Now, some of the games he's done retrospective looks at a series of include the Spyro games, as I said, was his million subscriber special, and the skateboarding games. Not just Tony Hawk's, but other skateboarding games as well. And while the PS1 predominantly means his home console here because it's the one he grew up with, he does have to venture into other consoles as well, so such as the Nintendo. And now that I actually remember it, in this episode, in this series, he actually goes into the world of a specific YouTube channel's reviews. He watches all 287 of their videos. And also what he goes into during this series, now that I remember it also, is he goes back and looks at the earliest videos he ever made before starting the original Caddicarus show, and cringes hard at those too. Now, given that he started making these episodes during the onset of the pandemic, he still managed to make them entertaining. And it's gone right up to this day, with the most recent episode actually being, well, not the Spyro games, but, well, actually, I can't remember what that one was. Have I seen it? Okay, now, but he has had a most recent episode then, recently, but my favourite of these most recent Caddy outings has actually been the Spyro one. And I forgot to say what my favourite episodes of the classic era were at the end of part 1, so I'll say it here. My favourite episodes of classic Caddy were, of course, the episodes where he reviewed the Tweenies game and the Peppa Pig episodes and the movies and every Phoenix game review and the nursery rhyme DVDs. And now, Caddy, if you're watching these, which I sincerely doubt you are, continue to do what you do best. I can't wait to see what you come up with next. Keep up the good work, man. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. As Caddy would say, if it's your birthday today while watching this video, then happy frickin' birthday to you, and please remember to stay beautiful. Thanks for watching, and have us a magical time, as I would say.